Snowstorms swirl across the endless white of Antarctica. Beneath the ice, deeper than any drill has gone, a hidden tunnel hums with quiet energy. Inside, a command center stretches for kilometers. Banks of glowing screens line the walls. Men and women in dark uniforms speak in low voices. This place does not exist on any map. It's Earth's most secret defense station. At 0319 UTC, a sound rises through the speakers. Not noise, not static. A pattern. On one monitor, a pale green line leaps and falls. Numbers scroll fast, impossible to follow. The signal has come from far beyond Pluto, from the black between stars. Technician Aaron Malik blinks at his screen. The message is repeating. He runs the pattern through 3 translation programs. Only the 4th gives words. Cold words. Earth is a weak farm. Harvest begins soon. His heart slams. He looks around. The room stays calm. Nobody else seems to know. A rune supervisor stands with 2 generals at the far end of the hall, watching another screen. He swallows, prints the translation, and walks toward them. Suddenly, the lights dim. The audio cuts. A voice on the intercom. Seal all channels. No leaks. Red lights flash. Metal doors slide down, locking the room. Aaron's hands shake. He knows what protocol means. No contact with the outside world until orders come. But the words burn in his mind. A weak farm. Harvest begins soon. If this is true, every person on Earth is in danger. While the generals debate, Aaron slips a data stick into the console. He copies the raw signal. He types a short, anonymous message and pushes it onto a satellite uplink before the jamming field goes up. Somewhere on the surface, a news blogger receives a strange file. He has no time to breathe. 2 security officers appear behind him. Step away from the station. His screen goes black. The data stick is pulled from his hand. One officer leads him out. The heavy door closes. The camera or narration stays with the command center. Alarms go silent. The only sound is the soft, endless pulse of the alien message, still repeating in a code no human wrote. The plot unfolds for the first time in decades. The heads of Earth's governments connect through a hidden network. In Washington, Beijing, New Delhi, and Brussels, encrypted calls buzz. Every leader sees the same text on screen. Alert, alien invasion warning, first contact gone wrong. Some refuse to believe it. It's a hoax. Others panic. We must negotiate. A few stay silent, eyes narrowing. They have known about rumors of a coming threat for years. They have been building something under the ice, in deep space, in places even their allies do not know. In the Antarctic Command Center, Director Helen Cross takes the floor. Her voice is steady but cold. We have confirmation of a coalition of alien forces. Their fleet is moving through the Oort cloud. They call our planet a farm. They plan to harvest it. We are out of time. She taps a console. A holographic map fills the room. Dozens of red points move slowly toward the inner solar system. Some are as large as cities. Others are only scouts. The first wave will arrive in less than 6 months. A murmur ripples through the staff. We can't fight that, someone whispers. We don't have to, says another. We can surrender. Director Cross's eyes flash. We don't surrender. Not now. Inside Earth's most secret defense network beneath deserts, mountains, and oceans, long, silent machines wake up. In the Pacific Trench, a steel vault opens. Inside, rows of sleek drones glow blue. In low Earth orbit, black satellites unfold hidden wings, revealing weapons no public agency has admitted exist. Deep under Nevada, a computer older than the internet begins running scenarios at full power. This is the Global Contingency Defense Program, known only to a few. Its real codename, Project Sentinel. For 50 years, scientists and engineers have prepared for the day when the stars might bring not wonder but war. Technicians in the Antarctic hub race to activate dormant protocols. Panels slide open, revealing old-style switches. Codes are read aloud by trembling voices. One by one, hidden systems go green. The world above remains unaware, but the leak is already spreading. The blogger who received a runes file posts a single sentence on a dark forum. They're coming to harvest us. Within an hour, thousands read it. A grainy audio clip of the alien message appears on pirate channels. People argue, fake or real, yet the seed of fear is planted. The world reacts in New York. Morning commuters stare at news on their phones. In Tokyo, markets drop. In Moscow, a military analyst whispers on live TV, "This is not a drill." The phrase "first contact gone wrong" trends across hidden networks before being censored. Governments issue bland statements, no credible threat. But ordinary citizens notice unusual movements. Military transports at night, strange lights leaving remote airfields, the launch of weather satellites no one has heard of. Meanwhile, inside the command center, Director Cross faces her team. "We need unity," she says, "but the leaders are divided. Some still want to send peace envoys. Some want to hide. We have a narrow window." A young officer asks, "What if the aliens just want resources? We could give them something, minerals, data, a treaty." Cross stares at the alien message, still looping. "They don't want trade. They want a harvest. Do you know what a harvest means?" "Silence," answers her. The story cuts between three threads. Arun Malik, detained in a small room, hears muffled shouts from the corridor. He wonders if he will ever see daylight again. He regrets sending the leak, but also hopes it reaches someone who can act. World leaders arguing on a secure channel, some voices shaking with fear, some with anger. If we attack first, we risk annihilation. If we wait, we die like cattle. Ordinary people online, sharing the mysterious audio clip, slowing it down, finding hidden layers in the code. One layer sounds like a countdown. Every minute the alien message grows clearer. Linguists detect more words. Weak farm becomes breeding ground. Harvest begins soon becomes culling begins. The meaning is no longer in doubt. Tension peaks. At midnight, Director Cross receives a second transmission. This one is visual. A blurred image of massive ships, dark and jagged, moving through a cloud of ice. One ship rotates, and something like an eye glows on its hull. Cross calls an emergency meeting of the Defense Council. Generals, scientists, and a few hidden faces on screens. She speaks. "We have prepared for this. For decades we have hidden our strength. Now we must decide. Negotiate or fight. But if we fight, we reveal everything." A general leans forward. "What's the alternative?" Cross looks at the frozen ships on screen. "We let them think we are weak, and we get harvested." No one speaks. Finally, an old scientist says, "Then it's time to wake the Sentinels." Cross nods. "Activate Phase 1. Phase 1. In a cavern below the command center, a door slides open. A huge chamber glows with blue light. Inside stand rows of tall, thin machines, silent for years. Their faces are blank metal. Their arms end in tools, not weapons yet. Data cables snake from their backs into the floor. Engineers type codes. The machines shudder, eyes glow. One by one they step off their platforms. Above ground, across the planet, hidden installations echo the same awakening. In the jungles of South America, a disguised radio telescope folds into a missile array. In Siberia, a mining operation reveals itself as a launch silo. In orbit, decommissioned space stations pivot to point unseen weapons at the void. The public sees none of this, yet. All they feel is an edge of tension, a change in the air, a sense that the world is holding its breath. The camera returns to Arun Malik. His cell door opens. Two guards enter. But instead of taking him deeper, they hand him a tablet. On it is a message. "Your leak was received. We're with you." A hood is thrown over his head. He is led away. Director Cross watches the alien fleet on her screen. She presses her palm to the glass. Quietly she says, "Stop now, or face the unthinkable." The alien message still loops, cold and mechanical. Earth is a weak farm. Harvest begins soon, but now a second signal pulses from Earth, coded and silent, reaching out to hidden allies in the dark. The episode fades to black with the words, "Project Sentinel activated." Snow fell silently over the frozen runway of a secret airbase in Greenland. The world above thought it was only an old weather station. Inside its hangars, technicians moved fast under dim red lights. Engines hummed. Machines that had never seen the sun were being prepared to launch. The countdown had begun. even if most of the planet still believed nothing was wrong. Far out beyond Pluto, the alien fleet changed formation. New scans from hidden probes showed huge carriers moving to the front. Some were the size of small continents. Others looked like black knives cutting through the darkness. Their drive signatures pulsed like heartbeats. Every beat brought them closer to Earth. In Washington, Beijing, and New Delhi, leaders stared at encrypted screens. The same message blinked across every secure line: hostile coalition approaching. Negotiation attempts unanswered. Some leaders argued for another peace transmission. Others said time was over. Voices clashed, echoing down empty halls. In underground bunkers, war planners whispered numbers that sounded more like prayers than strategies. Director Helen Cross sat alone in the Antarctic Command Center. The alien message still played in her ears, the same cold words: "Earth is a weak farm. Harvest begins soon." She had stopped sleeping. She watched the red dots on the map drift inward and wondered if they were already too late. Behind her, the staff worked quietly, activating layers of defense the public could not imagine. They had planned for meteors, rogue states, even AI uprisings. But this was different. This was a civilization coming to take everything. On a deserted highway outside Chicago, Aaron Malik sat in the back of a black van, wrists bound, but head held high. Two strangers rode with him. They spoke little, only once saying, "You did the right thing." He did not know who they worked for. He only knew he had leaked the message, and now his life was no longer his own. Through the window he saw military convoys rolling toward hidden installations. No one on the street knew why so many trucks moved at night. Across the world, odd events multiplied. Cargo planes left unmarked hangars. Naval ships vanished from ports. An entire satellite cluster blinked off and then back on under a different name. Amateur sky watchers noticed new stars forming strange patterns. Forums filled with blurry images and frantic theories. Some thought it was a drill. Some whispered about first contact gone wrong. Inside the command center, a low tone sounded. One of the hidden probes near the Kuiper Belt had gone dark. Another followed, then another. The aliens were sweeping up Earth's eyes one by one. The technicians spoke in clipped, nervous voices. Director Cross gave no outward sign of fear, but her hands clenched on the desk. "Phase 2, she said softly. Orders moved down secure lines at light speed. Deep under the Pacific, an old vault opened for the first time in decades. Ocean water poured through a tunnel, then parted as a steel platform rose, bearing shapes covered in tarps. One by one the covers slid away, revealing dark-hulled craft with no names. They lifted on silent drives and vanished into the sea, heading for launch points. Above the Atlantic, what the world believed were retired weather balloons drifted into new orbits and extended hidden arrays that glimmered briefly before going dark again. Ordinary citizens sensed a change, but could not explain it. A teacher in Cairo saw a faint glow cross the sky and told her students it was just a satellite, though she had never seen one move like that. A fisherman off the coast of Chile heard a deep vibration under the water and watched a shadow larger than his boat slide past without a sound. In Moscow, a child woke from a nightmare of black ships and drew them on the wall. The alien fleet sent no new words, only silence and motion. The absence of communication was itself a message. Earth's analysts studied the patterns and concluded the first strike would fall on the asteroid belt. It would test humanity's response. If humans did not resist, the fleet would continue inward. Director Cross stood before her staff. "The countdown has started," she said quietly. "They think we're still weak. Let's keep it that way. Until the moment we're not." She turned to a console and entered a string of codes. Across the solar system, dormant platforms lit up like ghosts. Signals whispered to hidden colonies, to old allies in the dark. In the van, Aaron Malik's captors handed him a new badge. "You're part of this now," one said. "We're not going to let them take us without a fight." In the final moments of the episode, the camera pulls back from Earth. Tiny pulses of light flicker from oceans, deserts, and space stations. Invisible weapons unfold like flowers of steel. Farther out, the alien fleet closes ranks. Their leading ships tilt, turning toward the inner system. Silent countdown clocks appear on screens in hidden rooms around the world. The strike is coming. Earth waits, holding its breath, pretending to be powerless even as its defenses awaken. The night sky looks the same, but nothing is the same anymore. Snowstorms still rolled over the Antarctic base, hiding it from every satellite camera. Deep under the ice, Director Helen Cross stared at the star map. Red dots filled the edges of the solar system. Every hour another probe vanished. She had grown used to that rhythm. But at 02:14 GMT the rhythm stopped. For a moment the screens went blank. Then everything went black. All over Earth, lights flickered. In Tokyo, neon signs died mid-sentence. In New York, trains braked to a halt inside tunnels. In Lagos, mobile phones fell silent. At first, people thought it was a power failure. Then they looked up and saw the stars move. From the sky came shapes with no sound. Long, thin shadows glided across the clouds like knives of night. They blocked the moon for seconds at a time, then slipped away. There were no broadcasts, no official messages, just silence everywhere. Inside the Antarctic Command Center, the backup generators clicked on, but no external feed returned. Satellite links were gone. The deep space antennas were dead. The alien fleet had cut every major channel at once. Earth had gone blind. Are we under attack? A young technician whispered. No one answered. Director Cross's face was pale but steady. She knew this was only a test. The coalition wanted to see how humans reacted when stripped of their eyes and ears. In a secure room in Washington, a handful of leaders watched the same black screens. Some shouted orders that never left the building. Others just sat stunned. First contact gone wrong no longer sounded like a headline on a dark forum. It was the new reality. Out on the streets of London, a girl held her phone high, trying to catch a signal. Nothing. She heard a low hum above the clouds and thought it was thunder. It wasn't. High over the Atlantic, an alien scout ship opened a hatch and released a silver mist that glittered in the upper air. No one on Earth had names for what it was. In the ocean trenches, hidden hangars woke up. Sleek black hulls rose like whales, shedding decades of rust-proof paint. In deserts, false warehouses opened their roofs and revealed tall launch towers. Deep underground, AI cores that had slept for generations spun up and began calculating counterstrikes. The secret Earth defense network was coming online without satellite guidance, running on internal codes older than the internet. In a dark cell miles away, Arun Malik listened to the silence. The van ride had ended hours ago. His captors were gone. He sat alone, a single lamp above his head. Then a panel in the wall slid open, and a voice said, "Do you still want to help?" He nodded. A hand pulled him into a narrow tunnel. He was led past humming machines, through a door, and into a room full of screens that still glowed. Unlike the command center, this hidden node had not gone dark. "They can blind us," the stranger said, "but they can't blind what they don't know exists." Aaron stared at the screen. It showed faint signals, pulses from far out in space. Not all the probes were gone. Some were cloaked. The stranger smiled. "We have eyes they haven't found." Back in the Antarctic base, panic edged closer. Without satellites, the world's militaries were deaf and blind. Missiles could not be guided. Communications were frozen. It was exactly the kind of collapse the coalition hoped for before the harvest. Director Cross stood at the main console. "Hold phase 2, she ordered quietly. "Don't fire, not yet. Let them think we're broken." Above Earth, the alien shapes moved like slow sharks. They scanned, mapped, and tested. They expected to see humans in chaos. But instead of chaos, something unexpected happened. In villages, cities, and ships at sea, people began to act together. They lit candles. They formed local radio nets. Old analog systems crackled back to life. Humanity, deprived of its machines, began to improvise. Inside the secret defense network, buried wires and laser relays clicked on. Messages traveled under oceans, through mountains, along forgotten fiber lines. Orders spread quietly to hidden crews. Black hulls submerged again, waiting for launch codes that would come by light, not by radio. On a ridge above Santiago, an amateur astronomer aimed a handmade telescope at the sky. Through the eyepiece he saw not one, but dozens of shadows sliding past the stars. He drew a rough map in his notebook, not knowing it matched exactly what the hidden probes still saw. In the closing moments, Director Cross walked to the viewing window of the command center. Beyond the glass lay a deep shaft of ice, glowing faintly blue. She touched the cold surface. "They think the day Earth went dark is the day we lost," she said. "It's the day we started seeing them for who they really are." Far above, an alien scout pivoted and sent a beam of unknown energy into the void. It flickered, then stopped. For the first time, the Coalition realized something. Some of Earth's systems were still alive, somewhere they could not find. The episode ends with a single line of text on a dark screen. Project Sentinel, Phase 3. Awaiting order. The world is blind. The alien fleet is closer, but in the hidden dark under oceans and ice, humanity's defenses are no longer asleep. Snow drifted over the Antarctic base as if nothing was happening beneath it. But deep inside, Director Helen Cross stood in front of the same star map she had watched for weeks. The red dots were no longer at the edge of the system. They had entered the asteroid belt. The Coalition ships were building a staging area there. Earth had hours, not months. At 03 South GMT, an alarm sounded. A low, steady tone that no one had ever heard before. It was the activation signal for the last protocol. Everyone in the command center stopped talking. Cross looked at her staff. "This is it," she said. "No more games." Above ground, the blackout continued. Power grids were still crippled, satellites still dead. In most of the world, people thought the government had lost control. In the shadows of ruined cities, old analog radios hissed with rumors. Some whispered that the harvest had begun. Others whispered that Earth was hiding something. Inside the hidden base, the staff moved with precision. Secret compartments slid open. Consoles revealed buttons and switches no one had touched for decades. Engineers keyed in ancient codes. For the first time since Project Sentinel was built, the final layer of the network came alive. Director Cross stepped into a small recording room. The walls were lined with shields. Only one camera, one microphone. She looked at the lens and began to speak. "This is a message to every ship in orbit, to every world watching. We are not weak. We are not a farm. Stop now or face the unthinkable." Her voice did not shake. Around the world, hidden transmitters burst into life, carrying her words across every remaining channel. For a moment, there was silence. Then above the moon, something exploded. A small, rocky satellite, long thought to be just another fragment, flared white and disintegrated into a ring of debris. In its heart was a warhead humanity had hidden for 40 years. The Coalition ships turned their sensors toward the explosion. It had taken only a code from Cross's console to set it off. Across the galaxy, in command rooms aboard the alien fleet, signals pulsed. The Coalition captains stared at the data. Humans had just destroyed a moon with a single command. They had not known the moon was a trap. They had not known humans had been building weapons in secret for generations. Director Cross's voice continued. "You thought the day Earth went dark meant the day you won. You were wrong. That was the day we removed our mask. We gave you a chance to stop. This is your final warning." On the streets of Paris, a crowd watched a giant screen flicker back to life, showing Cross's broadcast. In Johannesburg, a battery-powered radio picked up her words. In villages, in ships at sea, in darkened cities, people lifted their heads. For the first time since the blackout, Earth was speaking with one voice. In a hidden room under Nevada, Arun Malik sat at a console beside the stranger who had rescued him. "You sent the leak," the stranger said. "Now watch what it started." Arun saw feeds from secret launch bays opening under oceans, hidden colonies sending encrypted handshakes, and dark hull warships moving into firing positions. The Shadow Fleet, ships no one had ever admitted existed, was ready. Above Earth, the alien fleet shifted. Their formations broke for a moment. They had not expected this. Their long game of fear and silence had been turned on them. For the first time, they sent a reply, a short burst of symbols across the dead channels. Earth's linguists worked on it quickly. The meaning was clear. You cannot be what you pretend to be. Director Cross smiled without humor. We're done pretending, she said. The episode closes on two images. In deep space, hundreds of human stealth ships sliding out from behind asteroids. Their drives, cold and dark, pointed at the coalition like a forest of black spears. On Earth, people listening to Cross's warning, realizing their planet had never been as helpless as it looked. A single line fades onto the screen as the music builds. The mask has come off. Phase 4 begins. The cliffhanger hangs. The aliens now know Earth is armed and awake, but no one yet knows how they will answer. A grey rock hung in the dark between Mars and Jupiter. Miners had named it Ceres a century ago, but now it was a fortress. Beneath its frozen crust, thousands of human workers moved in silence, packing supplies into hidden bays. Above, long black warships drifted without lights, their hulls blending with the void. No one outside Project Sentinel even knew they were there. At 02:37 GMT, a young pilot named Lyra Santos sat strapped into the cockpit of a stealth gunship. Her breath fogged the inside of her helmet. She stared at the stars and tried not to think about the message that had woken her. The coalition has found us. She flicked a switch. The gunship's sensors showed hundreds of red dots entering the belt. The alien fleet had come faster than expected. Scouts, then carriers, then something bigger. Machines shaped like jagged spires, taller than skyscrapers, moving with impossible precision. They were coming straight for Ceres. Down on the rock, miners heard the first tremor. Dust fell from the tunnel ceilings. In the command chamber, alarms began to howl. Director Cross's voice came over the internal line from the Antarctic base. Calm, but hard. They're testing us. Hold the line. Do not reveal everything yet. Lyra's hands shook on the controls. She had trained for years, but had never faced a real alien ship. Around her, the other stealth gunships powered up silently. They drifted out from the shadow of Ceres like a school of black fish. Above the asteroid, the first alien beams cut across the dark, thin lines of white-blue light that shredded metal before sound could travel. A human supply ship exploded, scattering fragments across space. Inside its hull were food and air for thousands. Lyra felt the shockwave through her suit. Someone screamed over the comm before it cut out. She slammed her thrusters and the gunship spun, releasing a swarm of micro-drones. The drones lit up with faint blue halos, then vanished, cloaking themselves. Across the formation, other pilots did the same. In a moment, the void around Ceres was full of invisible teeth. The aliens moved in closer, confident. Their lead ship opened a hatch like a flower of steel. A giant harvester drone slid out, claws opening to pierce the asteroid's crust. Then, for the first time, humanity struck back. From hidden railguns buried under Ceres, bolts of dark metal slugs shot upward at hypersonic speed. They hit the harvester before it reached the surface. The drone shattered, scattering glowing shards. The alien fleet hesitated. More railgun fire lit the black. Explosions bloomed without sound. The belt filled with spinning debris. Lyra dove between two enemy ships, her gunship's stealth field flickering. She fired a pulse of dark energy at an exposed sensor node. The alien ship's hull cracked and vented green gas. She didn't cheer. She just breathed once and lined up the next target. On Earth, people huddled around battery radios and old TVs, watching grainy feeds leaked from the hidden network. For the first time, they saw their planet fighting back. "Fire over Ceres," a pirate broadcaster whispered. "We are not a farm anymore." In the Antarctic command center, Director Cross stood over the holographic map. Red and blue dots danced, merged, and disappeared. Losses on both sides. She knew the longer they held their firepower back, the greater the risk. But revealing everything too soon could lose the war before it began. Aaron Malik sat at a console in the Nevada node, relaying coded orders through underground fiber lines. Sweat ran down his face. He had wanted to warn the world. Now he was part of the hidden war. "Shadow Fleet is in position," he said quietly. "They're asking for release," Cross hesitated. Then she spoke. Negative, not yet. Let them think Ceres is all we have. Out in the belt, alien carriers began to change shape. Plates slid aside, revealing weapons the humans had not seen before. Spheres of light forming at their tips. Lyra's sensors screamed warnings. She saw 3 human ships vanish at once, erased by beams of pure white. She screamed back over the comm, "We can't hold!" But just as the alien weapons powered up for a killing blow, something else stirred in the dark, beyond Ceres. Hulls blacker than space moved without lights, silent as shadows. One by one, dozens of enormous human warships appeared, their drives cold, their weapons already charged. They had been waiting in the debris field all along, Lyra's display filled with new green icons. The comm crackled, "Shadow Fleet, engage!" The episode ends on a cliffhanger. The camera pulls back to show the entire asteroid belt alive with fire, railgun bolts, alien beams, stealth ships flashing in and out of cloak. Ceres glows like an ember. The voice of Director Cross echoes over the chaos. This is still only the beginning. A final line fades onto the screen. Phase 5 activated. Humanity fights back. The debris field around Ceres drifted like a slow storm. Twisted alien metal spun beside shattered human drones. Flashes of light came and went in the black, each one a silent death. In the command room beneath Antarctica, Director Cross kept her eyes on the red dots moving toward Earth. Ceres had slowed them, but it had not stopped them. Far beyond the asteroid belt, in a stretch of empty space no one had mapped, a dark armada waited. No signals, no lights. Hulls blacker than shadow. These were the ships that Earth had never admitted existed, built in off-world caves and ocean trenches, crewed by men and women whose names had been erased from every record. They were the last layer of Project Sentinel. They called themselves the Hidden Fleet. The hook begins with a single pilot's view, Commander Nico Valdez drifting alone in his cockpit, nothing but darkness around him. He has been in the same position for 9 days, engines cold, no comms, only the soft beep of a heart monitor. He has orders, wait and do not move until the signal comes. His fuel is almost gone. He whispers to himself, "We are ghosts, we are shadows." Then a coded pulse hits his receiver. 3 words, Phase 6, begin, the Hidden Fleet wakes. Across the void, hundreds of stealth ships open their black shutters. Drives flare for a heartbeat, then go cold again. Weapons unfold from hidden bays like claws. Crews strap in, commanders read their sealed orders for the first time. The largest of the ships, a city-sized dreadnought called Silent Thunder, powers its long guns. For decades it has been invisible. Now it is about to move. On Earth, most people still think the blackout means defeat. Radios hiss with rumors of surrender. But pirate broadcasters whisper of ghost ships in the dark, and a fleet no one was meant to see. Families gather around candlelight, listening, trying to believe. Back at the Antarctic base, Cross stares at the holographic map. Green icons bloom in the darkness beyond Mars. Shadow Fleet signatures. Arun Malik watches beside her. He had seen leaks, but even he gasps at the size of it. "We built all this," he says. "And nobody knew." "We wanted the enemy to believe we were helpless," Cross answers. "Now we show them what helpless really looks like." Meanwhile, above the belt, alien carriers regroup. They have felt the sting of human weapons. They tighten their formation, preparing a single, massive strike at Earth. Their long spires begin to glow. Across their fleet a message pulses. The harvest continues. Commander Valdez's voice cuts through the Hidden Fleet's channels. "This is Silent Thunder Actual. All shadows, prepare to break cover on my mark." In the dark, the armada pivots as one, aligning on the enemy. Silent alarms flash. Crews breathe deep. After years of secrecy, they are finally going to fight. Just as Valdez prepares to give the order, a new contact appears on his display, something bigger than any alien ship so far, moving out from behind a comet. The sensors can't even map its shape. It's as if a whole piece of night has detached itself and is coming closer. At the same moment, in the command room, Cross receives a second coded message from deep space. A voice she never expected to hear, one of the original Sentinel architects, presumed dead decades ago. The voice says only, "If you use the fleet now, you change everything. Think carefully." Cross looks at the screen, then at Arun. "We're out of time," she says. "If we wait, we lose Earth. If we act, we wake something even we don't understand." The camera cuts back to Valdez. He is staring at the giant shadow on his screen. His finger hovers over the fire control. He whispers, "Are you friend or foe?" The episode ends on a frozen frame. The hidden fleet facing the coalition armada, a monstrous unknown shape moving between them. Earth still blind and dark. A final line fades in over the black. The ghosts are awake. But what else have we awakened? The stars did not move, but every screen aboard the Silent Thunder showed the same thing, a shape larger than a city gliding between the human and alien fleets. It had no lights, no signals, no drive plume. It was like a wound in the night. Sensors flickered, failed, then came back filled with static. Commander Valdez's hands hovered over his controls. "It's not one of ours," he whispered. "And it's not one of theirs." The hook lingers on Valdez's view. All around him, the hidden fleet wakes up fully, their stealth gone, weapons powered. Across the void, the alien armada's spires begin to glow. The unknown shape slides silently between them. Its surface ripples like black glass. For a heartbeat, it seems to watch everything. Then the first scream cuts through every channel. Not human, not alien. A sound made of code and static, jamming every frequency. In the Antarctic base, Director Cross clutches her headset. Aaron Malik rips his off. The screens fill with strange symbols. The unknown shape is broadcasting. Cross recognizes the code. It's older than Project Sentinel. Older than any program she knows. "It's a lock," she says. "We were never supposed to open it." On the far edge of the fleet, one of the alien spires fires on the shape. The beam bends before it hits, splits into threads of light and vanishes. A second later, the alien ship is torn in half without a visible weapon. The shape does not slow. It moves, as if gravity itself bends for it. Valdez shouts to his crew, "Hold fire! Do not engage." But some of the younger captains panic. Missiles streak out from human ships. They vanish against the black surface. Then the shape shudders, and a ring of pale energy spreads outward, washing over every hull. Systems flicker. Stealth fields collapse. Drives reboot. Even the alien spires blink off for a second. The broadcast changes. This time, every speaker on every ship, human and alien, carries a voice. It is flat, toneless, and clear. "You have triggered the unthinkable." Cross stares at the waveform. "It's an old failsafe," she whispers. "This was built before the fleet, before the blackout. It's not alien. It's ours." Aaron turns to her pale. "We built that?" She nods once. "We hid it, and now it's awake." Out in the void, the alien fleet breaks formation. For the first time, they transmit openly signals of fear and retreat. They had come to harvest, but now something else hunts them. Their spires fold, their drives flare, but the black shape blocks their escape route. Valdez makes a choice. He opens a direct line to the alien flagship. His words are simple. "We didn't mean to unleash this. Help us stop it." There is a pause, then a reply, the first human-alien voice contact without weapons between them. The alien voice is harsh but clear. "We cannot stop it. We ran from it once. Now you woke it." On Earth, power grids flash on for a heartbeat as the shape's signal touches the planet. All deep bunkers hum. In hidden silos, dormant systems light up. People all over the world look at the sky and see auroras burning red and gold. Rumors spread. The unthinkable has come. In the Antarctic base, Cross enters a sealed room where an ancient console sits under dust. She puts her hand on a scanner. A screen lights up with a single line. "Sentinel override, final key." Her finger hovers. If she turns it, she might shut down the shape, or she might finish what it started. Arun watches her. "Director," he says softly, "whatever that thing is, it's not just a weapon. It's alive." The camera cuts back to the belt. The black shape opens like a flower of night. Inside it, a sphere of white fire grows. Both fleets drift back, weapons silent. Valdez whispers, We wanted them to fear us. Now we're all afraid. The episode ends on a frozen image, the shape fully open, a pale light pouring out. Both humans and aliens motionless in the dark. A final line fades onto the screen. The unthinkable is awake. And no one controls it now. For a moment, the whole solar system went silent. No weapons fired, no engines burned. Every ship, human and alien, floated around the black shape like insects around a dead star. Inside the shape, the white sphere pulsed like a heartbeat. Every pulse sent a shudder through hulls, through sensors, through people's bones. Commander Valdez stared at the sphere from the bridge of the silent thunder. His crew had stopped breathing. They all heard the same whisper through their headsets. Not a language, but an idea. Everyone listening. His hands shook. "It's broadcasting," he said. "But to who?" The hook lingers here. Cameras cut to miners on Ceres, to children in darkened cities, to alien soldiers on their spire ships. All of them freeze. All of them hear the whisper at once. Even on far-off colonies, where the blackout still holds, old radios hiss and then go clear. People who never knew of the war hear a single tone and a single voice in their minds. Stop. Listen. In the Antarctic base, Director Cross and Aaron Malik stand before the ancient console. The screen now shows not just words, but thousands of small symbols, languages no one recognizes. Cross realizes the shape has linked every sentient mind it can touch. "It's not a weapon," she whispers. "It's a mirror. It's making us face ourselves." Across the alien fleet, captains drop their weapons systems. Across the hidden fleet, guns power down. The black shape unfolds completely and becomes a lattice of light, each strand a thread of information. Images flash in every mind, wars, betrayals, famines, victories. Humanity's history, then alien history, then something deeper. Faint memories of a race that built the Sentinel long before either species rose. Valdez grips the rail. He understands now. The unthinkable was a last resort signal, a call for all violent civilizations to stop fighting and speak, or be erased. If no one answers, the sphere will collapse and release its stored energy, burning everything within the system. "We have one chance," he says. "We either talk or we die." On Earth, for the first time since the blackout, the skies blaze with color. Auroras ripple even at the equator. People pour into the streets, staring upward. In every mind, the same message: speak as one. Decide now. Director Cross makes her choice. She steps up to a microphone, but it is not connected to any transmitter. It does not need to be. The shape is already inside every channel. Her voice is steady. "This is Earth. We are not a farm. We are not prey. We were afraid and we hid our claws. But we will not harvest, and we will not be harvested. We will speak." Her words flow through the sphere. Then an alien voice joins hers. Not the harsh spire captain tone, but a softer, older voice. "This is the coalition. We came to take. We were taught only to take. But we are listening." Images ripple through the lattice, human and alien children side by side. Ships lowering weapons, oceans and stars unburned. The sphere pulses faster. Aaron whispers, "It's working." Valdez feels his ship vibrate. The black shape is collapsing inward, but now the white sphere is turning gold. Across the galaxy, listening posts that had been silent for centuries light up. Other civilizations far away hear the call. They hear two enemy species speaking together. They send back faint signals of their own. The final minutes show a montage, hidden bunkers opening, alien spires powering down, the silent thunder drifting beside a coalition flagship without firing. The black shape shrinks to a single point of light. Its last whisper flows into every mind. You chose to speak. Remember this day, and then it is gone. Silence again. But this time it feels different. In the Antarctic base, Cross lowers her head. "We were supposed to show strength," she says softly. "Instead, we showed truth." Aaron looks at the screen. A single line of text remains. The galaxy listened. On the bridge of the silent thunder, Valdez stares at the alien flagship. He opens a channel. "We have a lot to undo," he says. The alien captain answers, "We begin now." The episode ends with a slow pullback, Earth turning below, its lights coming back on. The asteroid belt full of silent ships. Far away, faint signals flickering from unknown stars, answering the call. A final line fades onto the screen as music rises. The day the galaxy listened was the day humanity finally spoke.